This is Scott Varner over here at Kennected in Indianapolis. What I do here is I'm a sales operations manager. So implementing Kixie was a huge part of my role. It's definitely improved efficiency overall on our setting team. So a little background on Kennected. What we are is a lead generation software company, right? Still relatively new to the space and whatnot. I think we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary as being an official LLC and all that stuff. And yeah, that's about it on Kennected. My role here, I've been an operations manager for about a year now. I've worked here for a year and a half total, but I've been an operations manager for just over a year now. So in my department, I would be in charge of just onboarding the new users or the new hires, right? The new and connected employees. That's a part of my roles here as a manager, is making sure everybody's set up properly on the tech stack. Kixie being one of the part of the tech stack. Of course, I set them up on that, and how I was going about doing that, rather than like creating a new user every time, right? I would go find maybe an old user that was no longer with the company or wouldn't need to use Kixie as much, right? Because we do the way it separates now is we have closers and setters, right? So the setters are the ones making the cold calls every day and all that stuff, whereas closers are mainly just jumping on Zoom calls and doing demonstrations of the software. So for a while there, yeah, I was just substituting new RDR hires or new setter hires in the place of those closer accounts that we had. So the biggest challenge that Kixie solved for us was before you guys, we didn't have any sort of company phone lines or company dialers or anything like that. So everybody was literally calling from their cell phone, or what they were doing was, we also have HubSpot, the CRM, right? So there we could do HubSpot calling as well, to where it called directly through the browser rather than using somebody's cell phone number. But that was the main problem that it solved there. We could then start using Kixie and have our power dialer where you just one click and it starts calling and the call is recorded. You have your different options there for voicemail drops and in a text message right after a call, etc. A huge shift, and I'd say twice as efficient. I'd say twice the amount of calls. So really just the volume there. A pretty powerful part about Kixie would be the integration into our CRM and what we're capable to do there, right? With triggering different automation workflows and so on. Like, for example, when somebody becomes a customer and they're going through our onboarding process, right? Kixie is able to integrate to those onboarding workflows of reminding them of upcoming meetings, also shooting them text message reminders. I think to be able to text message remind people of upcoming meetings for onboarding was huge. We had less no shows after that. Be that the voicemail drop feature, because that's always been a huge pet peeve of mine. Is like, oh, they missed my call. Now I got to spend another 30 seconds listening to them, when they're with their voicemail recording or whatever it is, right? So the ability to just click drop and then it hangs up the phone. That was huge. Sad and drained and busy. Maybe a little bit even more stressed out because of the added work and added time you'd have to spend on each individual call. It doesn't hurt to dip your toes in the water and try it out, and then do your own tests for productivity and efficiency in your office, right? We've got pretty competitive pricing through Kixie's dialer compared to other dialers and everything. So, try it out, dip your toes in and see what you think.